What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in. Is silver a good or a bad investment? Did you make a mistake? A lot of you hopped into the silver market when the Wall Street Silver Brigade, when the silver train was pushing, and you bought in at $30. A lot of you got into the silver market when silver was $30, right? Wall Street Silver brought a lot of new stackers in, but now you see your investment down to nearly $22, $23. So you might be thinking to yourself, did you make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? Was this the wrong idea? Should I have put my money into Dogecoin instead? And probably a lot of people are already sold at a loss and did that. So if you stole or someone that is hanging on, pat yourself on the back. And I really want to portray in this video the importance of understanding the true value of silver. Silver is by far the best investment, even beyond gold, and it makes the most sense. Now, please like this video. Please leave a comment. I won't see you till next year. So, let's end this year with a bang, and please support the channel. 2022 is going to be an amazing year for this channel, at least. I can't promise that with the economy and everything going on, but I can guarantee I'm stepping up my content. I'm talking about interviews. I'm talking about more giveaways. I'm talking about unboxings. I'm talking about user integrated. I really want to take my channel to the next level, and I hope you all are here to join and experience this with me. I really have been trying to brainstorm on this. I always try to push my content to the next level, and next year is definitely going to be one of those years where I see the most improvement, and I'm really excited for that. So I hope you all are here with me tuning in. So this article is from Business Insider. It is titled, "Is Silver a Good Investment? A Beginner's Guide to Silver and the Role It Could Play in Your Portfolio." So this is a perfect type of article, especially even if you aren't a beginner. This is still going to benefit you. When we're looking at information, a lot of times people think they know it all or they don't need to know anymore, right? The people that stick through my videos till, the end of the video, I always tell them, pat yourself on the back, because you didn't click off this video within 2-3 minutes thinking you know it all, or you didn't need to know anymore. You stayed through the entire video, soaking up every single piece of information, and that's going to translate into your stack, into your success, right? The people that click off my videos, those people, they're closed-minded, right? They think they know everything. And usually in these videos, there's so many different things we're covering. A lot of times the main stuff, the most important stuff, doesn't get talked about until the second half of the video. A lot of times there's an introduction. We kind of break into it, and then we don't really talk about the main stuff. So please make sure you watch these videos all the way through, because there is a lot to talk about when it comes to silver. So let's look at this. Gold tends to get all the glory in the investing world. It's the go-to people think when they want an alternative investment to traditional stocks and bonds. But from time to time, the financial spotlight falls on silver, and it shoots up in price, even outperforming its yellow metal cousin in the market. And yes, silver definitely had that this year, or the beginning of this year, 2021 year. And that was because Wall Street Silver. They didn't call themselves Wall Street Gold. It was Wall Street Silver. So, for example, in early February 2021, here they go, they're talking about it. But yeah, Wall Street Silver tried to do similar what the Hunt brothers did. Buy all the silver up, corner the market, and squeeze the price up from low supply, high demand. But what about the metal isn't being manipulated by traders? Is silver a good investment? The short answer is it can be, both as a cheaper alternative to gold and also from intrinsic qualities of its own. But silver also comes with unique considerations and risks that investors need to consider. So let's look at this. I'm going to be honest. If they make some good points saying, why silver might not be the best investment for you, I'll recognize it and I'll acknowledge it. But in the grand scheme of things, nobody can argue that silver makes the most sense, even beyond gold. When we're looking at the dollar index, what drives when the dollar is hurting, when the dollar is collapsing or hyperinflation or inflation, precious metals benefit the most. So we know that the dollar is declining, 98% of its purchasing power gone. It's going to keep declining. Precious metals are a hedge against inflation, so gold and silver would be the two that we're talking about. And we know that the dollar is never going to recover, so precious metals would already be the best in that box. But then we look at gold versus silver. Well, gold only benefits when the economy is in bad shape. Gold is solely a monetary metal. Silver is a monetary metal and an industrial metal. The silver shortage, the very low supply, but the increasing demand means that silver has an opportunity to take off where gold simply won't. So if you literally want to look at the way that the world is headed, silver makes the most sense. Literally, technically, figuratively, and I hope you guys can see that. There's a reason why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer, not Bitcoin Boy, or whatever. Not Bitcoin Bandit. That would be a cool YouTube name, though. But anyways, why invest into silver? Like gold and other natural resources, silver is classified as a commodity, a publicly traded tangible asset. Tangible assets prices generally move in the opposite direction from stocks and bonds. And for this reason, many investors turn towards commodities like silver when the stock market has a poor outlook or in times of economic recession or political turmoil. Since it's impacted by different influences, silver can be a good way to diversify and counterbalance your portfolio via equities or paper securities. And yes, I mean, you need to diversify. If you have all your eggs in one basket and that basket drops, all your eggs are broken. But if you have a whole bunch of eggs and a whole bunch of little baskets, if one of those baskets drops, it's okay because you got all these other baskets. You really got to look at balance. Balance is a word I think that a lot of people overlook, right? You really got to look at balance. In these ways, silver functions like gold as an investment, serving a similar safe haven role. However, silver is an industrial metal as well as an investment metal, which significantly affects its price, performance, and outlook. Kind of what I was just saying, right? It's the best of both worlds. So silver is used in manufacturing a variety of things from glitzy jewelry to humble batteries, from medical equipment to micro circuits. It's also a forefront of some innovative fields. I mean, silver is going to there's going to be new uses for silver every single month as we advance digitally and technologically. I can't even imagine, like if you're thinking about the future, you think of like a sci-fi movie, flying cars, skyscrapers to the freaking moon, all these fancy gadgets, that all requires silver. The Green New Deal, the entire world going green, requires silver. Electric vehicles all require silver. But there's already a silver shortage. So if that's going to be a reality, silver is going to be needed at an astronomically high rate that we just don't have. That's not realistic. So that would push the price up, but that also means we have to get the silver from somewhere, meaning that if they want the silver from us, we could set the price to whatever we want and they still have to buy it. They'll still have to pay that price regardless if they want that new latest Tesla to come out or the newest latest iPhone. So, because silver has a very high conductivity, it's used for many technological applications in the solar, energy, and electric automotive industry. And a precious metal and investment advisory company, and that's to mention that. And with both fields expanding rapidly, he explains many analysts predict the demand for silver is likely to rise substantially in the coming years. And I made a video the other day. I was talking about like triple digit silver. I think it was like $130 silver, the article said. And they're saying that it's not if, but when. And I personally think we would be seeing $130 silver between 2024 and 2025. I think that's when silver is truly going to, hit triple digits into a price where we could technically say exploded or skyrocketed. And that's because in 2024, 2025, that's when the Green New Deal is going to be in full effect. That's when every automotive company, car company is going to be switching to electric. Do you know by the year 2030, every automobile company is going to be an electric vehicle company? By 2030, right, 8 years away, every company will be producing EVs. So, my daughter who's 1 year old, her first car is going to be an EV most likely. I mean, we're transforming into a new generation and things are going to change. Silver is the main component in all of that. So in silver, investing in silver can be a way to bet on the technological advances in clean energy movement. So what are some of the risks of investing in silver? I like that they added this part in. So of course, like any investment, it isn't all reward. The metal brings its fair share of risks as well, but I can't say it's really risky. Like they call silver the devil's metal or a riskier version of gold simply just because it's more volatile, right? It's kind of like an exaggerated form of gold. If gold's going to rise 10%, silver's going to rise 15%. If gold's going to drop 10%, silver's going to drop 15%. So they're looking at it as if gold starts to drop, silver's going to drop harder. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a safe haven metal, right? I mean, even if gold does drop 10 and silver drops 15, you know it's going to correct itself. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really look at it as a risk when you're comparing a precious metal versus something that doesn't even have real value. So silver is sensitive to recession, driven as it is by industrial growth. The price of silver can be decimated by an economic slowdown. Vulnerable to technology shifts, there's always potential for silver to be replaced. That's not true. Silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, even light sensitivity. Nothing is going to, and I've covered plenty of articles, even from scientists on this, nothing can replace silver. Nothing performs even close to silver for as cheap as it is besides copper. Copper is a close second, but there's no way that they're going to replace silver with copper. There's no way. I mean, we're talking about gold and silver coming from asteroids light years away. It's not like there's going to be some new random metal that's going to be better than silver. We're talking about, all the gold in the ground came from asteroids and meteors. It's not made in the earth. This stuff came from outer space. There's not just going to be some other metal that can replace silver unless scientists come up with some extraordinary way to, I guess, I wouldn't even know how to word this, but use silver in a new form to break it down. Kind of like, okay, so in solar panels, it's about 58 grams per solar panel in PV cells. 58 grams, and they're trying to cut it down to around 25 grams or something. So if the only way that they could, I guess, not replace silver, but make it some type of impactful of an impactful way to affect the price would be learning how to minimize the amount of silver that's in these solar panels and electric vehicles. That's the only way, because I don't think anything can replace silver. What do you think about that? But anyways, there's limited income appreciation potential. As a tangible commodity, silver doesn't offer any interest like a bond or dividends like a stock. Your only chance to benefit is if you sell it during a price rise. And that's not true. I mean, look at premiums right now. Silver's price isn't rising, but the premiums of these coins are. Silver's $23, but you can go sell a silver coin on eBay or Amazon for nearly $50. So this article, it's technically right, but times are changing and this isn't correct anymore. Unpredictable price moves. Because silver has worth in multiple categories, its price can vacillate wildly, caught in a tug of war between an industrial and investment valuations. Say investors bid up silver prices as the silver price rises. Then incentive to recycle silver from industrial scrap, jewelry, and silverware grows. As there is a lot of potential scrap around the world, it could cause unexpected oversupply, which would then cause the price to drop. I don't see how there could be an oversupply when we have a demand over 1 billion ounces this year and probably 3 to 4 billion ounces within the next 5 years. There can't be an oversupply. I mean, the U.S. Mint, which only produces around 13 million ounces per year, had a silver shortage. They had to do a limited mintage number on the Type 1 and Type 2 Eagles for 2021 simply because there was a silver shortage. We're only talking about 13 million ounces, ladies and gentlemen. We exceeded a demand over 1.2 billion ounces, and the U.S. Mint can't even come up with 13 million ounces. So if you're talking about oversupply, that's not realistic. So silver's cheaper than gold. I don't know how that's a... Oh, they're talking about that's a good investment. Okay, well let's go back. Wait, where was the ones where it's talking about? Okay, so so now they're talking about silver versus gold as an investment. It's natural to compare silver to gold as an investment. They share the same tangible asset strengths, counterweights to stocks and stock markets, safe havens and socio-political shocks, inflation hedges. However, The two precious metals have several major differences. One, silver is cheaper than gold. Silver is less costly, much less costly. In the 21st century, its spot price in the financial market has never exceeded $50 an ounce. Gold trades in four figures, so silver is much more affordable. The same dollar investment buys you a lot more silver than gold, and silver has the potential to offer more profit. And that makes sense, and it's definitely true. Gold is easier to store than silver, right? You can fit $100,000 of gold in a shoebox. You can't do that with silver, right? You really got to think about that. Gold is overvalued, silver is undervalued. So if you're an investor, wouldn't you want to invest in the thing that's undervalued? Why would you invest into something that's already overvalued? That means it's going to be harder to get your money back. Silver is more volatile. The silver market's much smaller than the gold market, and that's why it's more volatile. Silver is a much smaller market than gold is. But anyway, it's more thinly traded than gold. Silver can demonstrate far greater volatility or price swings than its glittering cousin, like leaping 13% in a single day, for example. And that's also why people like JP Morgan try to, or they do, manipulate the price of silver. Silver prices are rigged. I hate to say it. Silver manipulation, price manipulation is a real thing. JP Morgan got caught several times throughout the last decade. Employees getting sent to prison, having to pay $1.2 billion penalties. I mean, that's real. That's real. The government has been looking in. The judge has been cracking down on JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, the Dutch bank. All these corrupt banks that have been rigging the price of silver, but it's real. They've been doing this for millions of dollars for decades now. I covered an article the other day. They're talking about going back 5 decades of JP Morgan manipulating the price of silver. So silver is less liquid than gold. These looking to offload silver will likely have a more difficult time finding a buyer than those selling gold. The gold market is simply more widely known and understood. It offers a wider array of safer, reputable places to invest. I don't know if that's necessarily true nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of outlets, local coin shops. You can go on eBay and get some silver off pretty simply and quickly. But yeah, gold is always going to, and I don't know if this will stay true forever, but gold is definitely seen, it's the mascot for precious metals. Usually when people have the idea of investing in precious metals, they find gold first, and then they hear about this more profitable, cheaper other asset, which is silver, and then they transfer over. So since silver is an industrial metal, it's more vulnerable to recession and pressures affecting manufacturing companies. Such factors can affect gold, which also has its industrial uses, but overall, gold is more driven by investor sentiment. So gold acts as a better pure hedge against the economy and stock market. But silver is also something that is starting to take on a life of its own, where gold simply doesn't. So I don't like this part. They talk about the best way to invest into silver, and you don't want to do any of this. Buy the physical metal. If you cannot hold it, you do not own it. If you cannot hold it, you do not own it. And look what they say right here. Investors can buy physical silver, but it does incur storage-related problems and expenses. I would rather pay 20 cents for a capsule or go buy a safe for $200, $300 from Home Depot than have all of my silver on a screen that just has a digit in front of it. That's not my silver. That's me paying for someone else to hold silver that they say theoretically is mine, but it really isn't, right? It's just the idea that you have silver, and that's not good. So anyways, let's look at the financial takeaway. Despite its affordability and industrial uses, silver has maintained a fairly low profile, especially in comparison to gold. But I do see that starting to change. But anyways, investor demand currently presents just 15% of the market as opposed to industrial uses, a statistic that suggests the commodity is both under-owned and undervalued. It also remains relatively cheap, especially in comparison with gold, presenting investors with more buying opportunities. But silver is more volatile and less liquid. These factors, along with its independence on different industries, can make it difficult to predict what the silver market will look like in 10 minutes, let alone 10 years. I think that would make it look more bullish, though. For those reasons, probably wise for newbie investors to steer clear and stick with good old gold if they want a safe haven against stock market moves. And like I said, precious metals are safe havens. Whether you're investing into gold or silver, you're both putting your money into something with real value, and taking your money out of, or you're transferring fake money into real money. So at the end of the day, if you're buying silver or gold, you're at least you're putting the control into your own hands. But if you're slightly more experienced, have a stomach for risk, I don't see how that's risk. But anyways, Carmarana suggests that silver could be a good choice. Now might be the perfect moment to take the plunge, as a combination of a bullish market intersects with increased demand from both the industrial sector and financial investors. So what do you think about this? I don't know. I mean, they made some good points, but they also made a lot of silly points that I think the person who wrote this just really had, they obviously know what they're talking about, but I don't think they thought it all the way through, or they look at silver the way that true silver stackers do. I mean, it's easy to talk about silver from an outside perspective, especially if you know the markets. But when you're a real silver stacker and you think about this and you strategize, you start to really understand things that most people don't. And that's why I try to make these videos like this, to share my 2 cents, and hopefully letting you guys in the comments also educate other people on this video that are tuning in as well. I mean, I rely on you guys as well. When I'm talking about a subject or a topic, I'm also hoping and relying on you all in the comments, people that also know what you're talking about, to also post comments in this video, and so other people that are new or that might not understand can read your comment and also get educated from it as well. It's not just about me, it's also everyone that also, it's supposed to be a conversation, right? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, 3, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next year. I'm sorry to say that. I'll see you next year, but when I come back next year, I'm gonna be stronger than ever. I mean, we're talking about some crazy stuff, and I'm so excited. So make sure you tune in. Make sure to hit this like button. Make sure you subscribe. This is Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.